Hi, so I kind of wanted to introduce myself a little bit. I realised I might be popping up on, your social media pages, and you don't really know who CGC is, who Conor Gregory Care is. Well, that is me. I'm Conor Gregory. I'm 20 years old, and I've worked in care since I was 14. I volunteered, and then worked my way up through that company, through that business, and stayed there and got some fantastic and amazing experience. Did all sorts of training, and that's largely, massively shaped the way that I care for young people. Shaped the way that I think people should be cared for. You see lots of videos on Facebook of how people are mistreated and stuff, and I think that is such a minority of people. I think that's such a minority that it shouldn't really be focused on, because there's such a massive amount of people that fantastically care for people and care so brilliantly that it gets overlooked. I've done training on mental capacity, pro at skip, dementia, first aid, person-centered care, all sorts, moving and handling. Any form of training, I've probably done it in that scape of time that I've kind of been working in the care sector. So the reason that I kind of set up Conor Gregory Care was, one, because I left that job to set up this business. I wanted to focus largely on a one-to-one route, a person-centered care route. I think it's something that doesn't necessarily get overlooked, but I think when sometimes it's so hard to really grasp person-centered care when you also have got to try and accommodate for other people. So I wanted to create a business where it's one person, their needs, their care, their opportunity to thrive. And I think I've done that. I think slowly that is working. People, I don't really know, caring for people has such a wide scope of what they need. Do they need access to the community? Is that what parents are wanting? Do they want a one-to-one access into a play group, a session somewhere else? Are they wanting support in home? A family wanting support, accessing different scenarios with them as a family? It's really, really looking into, and that's what CGC does. It's really looking into what the family want as a whole. How can we help them achieve whatever goals that they have? This is my little logo. Oh, I just realised that's back to front. That's annoying, you can't see that. So yeah, CGC, that's my little logo, everyone helping hands. And so I don't really know massively what I wanted to do in this video. I kind of just wanted to introduce myself a little bit, introduce what the company is, what I'm trying to achieve out there. I mean, I've got, some clients. I support an elderly gentleman, and then I support someone who would still be classed as a child. So it's a really, really big scope. And I've had training for both of those. I did a 3-day intensive 8-hour training, 3 consecutive days on how to work with the elderly, because in my other job that wasn't really a focus for them. So having that training has massively enabled me to expand the care that I can provide. Because doing that really goes into a lot of detail about dementia, something I've never really come across in what I was doing before, and never something I've actually had in family, as far as I'm aware. Dementia's never something that's come up, so I didn't really understand it. I didn't know how many different types of dementia there were, so learning that was so helpful, because it's such a terrible thing for anybody to kind of go through, family and the person alike. Even things like moving and handling, and how that can be different for the elderly, you know, and how you know, and just how to work with them a little bit more, changing how you talk, be respectful. Because I saw a really powerful Facebook picture and it was, you know, I think it said something like, respect to the elderly, we don't know who they were before we met them. And it was, you know, elderly people stood in front of a mirror and they were like nurses, army people, police, you know, bakers, anybody, you know, we don't know them, we just know who they are now. So yeah, digressing. So I just think it was just a little video to introduce myself. I'm Conor Gregory, and the care that I can provide, you know, I've got care plans, so they are person-centred. That's the whole point, you know. They are person-centred to that individual's needs. I've got my progress trackers that is all designed by myself. It's basically like a diary log of everything we've done in the session, because sometimes, you know, you talk to parents after and you don't get that full time to talk about everything that you've done. So I sit at home, type it up in a Word, it's all on one continuous Word document, and parents have, or carers have got access to that Word document. They can just click the link and then it's there instantly. They can see everything we've done. It's always referred back to if ever they need it as evidence for social care, whatever. Parents, carers have got access to add their own comments, their own feedback, and then at the bottom I've now added a development goal section. So after the end of each session, you know, what can we develop on? What can we develop more for that person? So I think one example was to try and communicate their needs a little bit more. You know, when do they need a rest when doing an activity? You know, instead of doing this, let's do this. That's what it's focusing on. That's what that development goal is. And then, you know, we'll kind of go back and think, oh yeah, we've achieved this, fantastic. Let's kind of go on to the next thing. Is that we're focusing on? Yeah, care plans, progress tracker, development goals. I'm trying to think. I'm sure there was something else, but I can't quite remember. But yeah, so that's what I wanted to do. Just introduce myself. If you feel like you just want any questions, if you feel like you just want to ask a little bit more who I am, please drop me a message. I'm always just a text message away. Drop me a message if you know you want care, somebody you know might need care, someone you care for might need additional support. You know, anything, please feel free. Like, you can message me. I do know other carers that are out there that are, you know, self-employed. That if you don't want in a mail, if you're not wanting myself, I can refer you to somebody else. That is also something that I am able to do. So any questions, feel free to drop me a message. All right, guys. Thank you. Bye.